time.
Yeah,
right?
all the time.
It's like every day.
Or it's like we're scissoring in a bathtub.
Yeah,
with no water in it.
Easy.
With no water in it.
Or
Why?
a shower that's running and
Look
doesn't
how
have
long my
hot
legs
water.
are. It doesn't work.
Or like, a shower that doesn't have hot water and it's a set house. And you're like, well, you're going to have to be under this cold ass water and good luck being hard if you're a guy. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my God. It's just like the most ridiculous scenario. So anyway, but yes, like more realistic porn I think is like kind of good.
Welcome back, one and all. Thank you for listening. If you're new here, this is the Totally Wholesome, Not Dirty podcast, and I'm your host, Molly Stewart. We define wholesome a little differently here, and my guests span everywhere from the adult industry to the vanilla side of humanity. If you haven't, please consider subscribing. Word of mouth is what helps this podcast grow. So share with a friend, leave a comment, download an episode, or anything you can to help with the algorithm. I release episodes every Monday, and if you're subscribed, you'll never miss an episode. You don't want to miss out on all the crazy conversations that evolve here. But that's enough from me, and let's get to today's guest.
Did we?
Molly's really far away in today's episode.
I'm normally very close to all of you, but today I needed some space. I always get so paranoid because of that one time that I recorded almost an entire episode
That was
without audio. Just me ranting to a GoPro, and I think about it every time.
Or how about the one where you actually had like one camera, I guess it wasn't rolling or something?
Oh my God.
And you had to draw your face for every time it was supposed to be showing.
So here's what happened. Phoenix Marie came over and I was like, oh my God, it's Phoenix Marie.
You were fangirling out. You weren't paying attention.
I was not paying attention. Well, it was one of those things that I was also very rushed and I was nervous. And this was when I was not as decent talking to people as I am now. Thank you, podcasting. And like we get through and it made a weird sound. And I was like, oh, I should check on that. So I recorded maybe the first like 8 minutes of this thing. And then it made me format the card. I offloaded what I had. Came back. I'm like, it'll work now. So I pressed record. It didn't record anything.
Oh.
It recorded nothing, so I had no face cam. Right? So I drew an image of myself.
And it was so good.
With my headphones, like...
That's how you think on your feet.
Yeah, because that's how I laugh. So it's always like
the head back.
Yeah,
that's true joy.
That's true joy. I've realized that. Like,
I'm a comedian. I study laughs.
All my laughter before was fake. Like,
really?
I've realized that now. And I'm just like, when I'm my true authentic self, right, it's not cute. So I drew that, and that's what shows up every time I'm speaking.
Because you're not even worried about being cute. You're like, this is just joy.
I saw a meme today where it had the head back and it said, for every time you actually remember what you were thinking about, you have that moment where you're like, yeah, that was it. Light bulb.
I love that though. Like, and I think that's one of the joys that I found with comedy and going to comedy shows. Welcome back to the Totally Wholesome, Not Dirty podcast. I'm your host, Molly Stewart, and Laura Contreras.
Hey.
And here we also have comedian Jordan Perry.
Hey. That's right.
Welcome, Jordan.
Thank you for having me.
So
happy to be here.
So happy to be here. Thank you. Oh my God. Rocking the merch.
Everybody, buy his merch.
You wear it well. You make it look good.
Thank you. I love this shirt.
That's amazing.
It brings nothing but good vibes.
That's what I'm going for.
This is your entire vibe, and I feel like that's what we've been bringing to this podcast lately. And you guys have said it in the comments, which I really appreciate. Is that like every episode has been getting more fun, more real, more raw. It's good.
That's good.
And
we love
I feel
that.
like that's the joy of comedy, especially like stand-up comedy, is that it's just that raw, whatever it is. You're just trying to get a reaction, and that reaction is laughter. And even if it's a negative reaction, it's a reaction, that's something for you to react to.
We're alive. You felt something. Lady cussing me out, demanding her money back.
I absolutely love it. And I think like seeing crowd work is really fun too in that way, because I feel like in a way I can relate to that, not on that scale, but as far as just with webcamming, because it's basically a chat room of people in an audience. So you get the people who mouth off, who say the things, and you have to be entertaining in a way that's like, fuck you, but also I'm gonna make a joke about it.
Well, because they get to be fucking pussies and just hide in the internet, but you're out there, so they all can see you, but you can't see them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This is so crazy.
Yeah.
What kind of people are in your chat? I've never done that. Like, what is it like when you're in there? That would be terrifying to me.
It's a wild ride, dude.
You just said that like a Vietnam War vet, by the way.
Right? She wears the medal for that.
Right,
I'm just like, some things.
Right.
I remember 2014. I don't do webcamming as much as I used to. I do live streams when I'm able to, but now I feel like I do so many different things, and OnlyFans, it's its own bear,
right.
With customs and all the time that I do spend in DM, and then the time I make for podcasting, and then the time we make for shooting. And it's like, to do webcamming, that has to be what you do. And that was what I did for like the first, I want to say like 8 years of my career in this,
really?
7 or 8 years. And that's just what you do.
Dudes enter the chat room for free, but they pay you when they're in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So they enter in, and it's basically like a chat room of freaking anybody can do anything. And I was pretty much exclusively in public shows, because private shows, people get weird. There's this whole thing, like I remember this one time, I'm just like, all right, so like, what do you want to do in private? Like what is expected of me? And he's like, it's just like normal stuff. So I'm thinking like, all right, I pull out my Hitachi back massager, and I have a good time, and you watch and you jerk off, and we all go home. Day. So we get in, and he's like, so I want you to pretend that you're my sister and that you fuck my ass. So I was like, wow.
Hey!
Wow.
That's intermediate. I'm like beginner level here, man. Like, I'm freshly 22 years old. I don't even know that was like an option.
I think that's something that you send in an email. Not
right?
like, by the way, just so you know.
Like,
here's my disclosure list of what I'm cool with.
Hey, so like, what do you want to do? Like, that's not basic stuff. You're not like normal stuff. That's not normal stuff.
No.
Like,
Not
that
at all.
stuff, that's not normal.
That's not normal.
He got so mad.
We're
too.
sorry to say that.
Yeah, we're sorry to say, but it's not. Like, I know that you see that,
Also,
I would like to specify, he didn't say stepsister. So
he said sister.
Little weird.
There has to be blood there.
Damn!
Wow.
That's an audience right there.
Ooh, yikes.
Jesus.
Oh,
Do you think his girl knows? Does he have a girl?
I don't think
If he has one, let her out. She's chained up somewhere.
I think he has a sister, and I think she's with someone else.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not okay.
Boy.
Anyway, so you get something like that, but I mean, honestly, that's not like a majority of the things. For the most part, I'm caught in a pillow.
Some dudes just want to bust a nut. A normal, not incestual nut.
Well, I can't get this out of the pillow, so I'm gonna take this off.
There you go. The pillow wins.
The pillow wins. Molly 0, pillow 1. So, but no, it's basically like, and some people in chat rooms really just want to chat. Mm-hmm. Like, they're at work, they'll spend their day just like chatting. They're lonely. They want people to talk to, or they want to come. Like, it is
or all the above.
Yeah, or all the above.
All of the above. He wants to get to know somebody before he nuts, which is nice. That's a nice way to do it.
Yeah.
It is.
But then sometimes too, like, you get into, I would do like goals to clear, and then, you do an explicit show or whatever. And then you get the people who, they've been in there the whole time, right? They haven't spent any money. Ugh. You've spent no money. I know, because I know the people who spend the money, because my mind can keep track of money. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I'm just thinking, like, now is when you choose to speak up and saying, show your boobs.
Really?
Like, motherfucker, my pussy is out right now. Like, you're worried that one of my nipples is covered by the shirt that is slid down over top of it? Really? This is what you're telling me right now? This is not
this
enough
guy
for
like
you?
the Karen of webcamming? Like, excuse me, can I speak to your manager? She's not showing her boobs. Both boobs should be out. I've been here for 47 minutes.
I am trying to come, and I don't know why it's taking so long, and clearly it's all her fault. I'm like,
show your boobs.
I want my money back. Oh wait, you had no money.
And that's where you have to come in with, like, and I would just stop my shows in the middle of the Viber. I'm like, you killed my lady boner. It's time for me to stop.
Oh.
And just rip you a new asshole.
That's good.
Damn.
Punish them. Let them know. That's what happens.
And then people find that funny, so they tip. And then once the guy gets banned, then he can go back to business, and it's business as usual.
Okay.
And they always told me I should be a stand-up comedian, but I said I was too lazy, and so I would do sit-down. But that is what webcamming is sit-down comedian.
Sit-down comedy.
Mm-hmm, with your tits out.
Damn.
I don't think I've taken my tits out yet on stage.
Dance with your
tits. Maybe you should try. You might unlock a whole new audience you never can.
That's the difference between me and Kevin Hart.
Leveling up.
I need to level up.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
Be about it.
But that's anyway. What comes back to like I was my ex-husband was like, oh, comedians, comedy, like
Really?
we don't no.
I'm not
podcast,
disagreeing
nothing.
with him, by the way. On comedians.
I am.
Some
I
of them
disagree
do.
with him on everything, but
Oh,
that's
yeah.
why we're divorced.
Right.
So, but it's fine.
He didn't like comedians or comedy?
No, he didn't like other people speaking
Oh.
because that was time that he could be speaking.
Yeah, he was one of those.
One of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when it comes back to it, it was like once I got divorced and I was like, well, I'm really depressed and stuff. I was like, comedy, like that's an amazing thing. And then I started getting into that and podcasting, and I just like I feel so much relation, and being friends with other comedians as well, and getting to know and even just experience them through comedy, not even knowing them personally.
Right.
I see so many like, easy comparisons to make between kind of how we see our jobs. Like it's not necessarily a job most people would pick. It's a job that people think you're stupid for doing half the time.
I think people think they want to be comedians until they're actually in it, and they realize this sucks.
I've seen that a lot with content creators as well.
Right.
Like, they tell you all this just easy, and then it's like, oh, well, you don't put your everything into it, and you didn't, try as much as you could, or anything like that, or come with whatever your own brand of the sauce was, and it doesn't work out for everyone.
I do agree with that. I'm not a person that likes people who are half in, half out. Either you're full ass in or get your ass out. Like, do it or don't.
Yeah. You gotta, and it's like, you really have to, especially with, like, the adult industry as well. It's like, anyone can Google a picture of my butthole. Like, that's never gonna not be a thing. And you have to live with that, And
Molly's starfish.
Holy stuff. Well, now that sounds adorable.
real cute. We should make
That sounds like a nice
t-shirts.
perfume.
Laura,
Coming
are we just
soon.
making more
Yes,
merch? What
we're
are we
making more merch, everyone. We might even have stickers for those.
Molly Starfish. That's a new SpongeBob character.
Yeah. We'll draw it.
I definitely should. I drew the fist. That's coming soon. That'll be really fun.
Yes.
But so tell me about comedy. Like, how long have you been doing it?
Since I was like 18. So I went to school in Boston, and I was doing like sketch there and improv. Like I used to like, you go to high schools and like the like anti-drug people. We were that. We would do like improv shows. Like, all right, kids, who wants to talk about drugs? And they're like, what?
And then everybody was like, oh my god, we're gonna do so many drugs.
Right.
It looks
Yeah.
so fun.
Right. Yeah. But I would do that. But it was actually good money, so I didn't care.
Yeah.
And then I started doing stand-up in Boston, and then I gradually dropped the sketch and the improv stuff, and just kept doing stand-up. So it's been like over 10 years now, about 10 to 12.
When was that moment that you like fell in love and you were just like, oh, I'm all in?
Oh man, there's several moments. I feel like you're always re-falling in love, but I think
to really push yourself, you're always like finding new things to love about the job, the craft, the career, whatever it is.
Right, because you're doing it right if you're finding new things.
Yeah, but
You're
I think
not
like
stale.
that first moment is just like the one that sticks with you, maybe.
For me, it was I got to perform. There was like a competition where they said we had this big end of the year talent show at my college, and it was going to be in the big theater with like over like 1,000 people, something like big theater, like proper like theater. And it was they said they were looking for a stand-up comedian to open the show, and I submitted and I got into the running, and I realized you could just vote for yourself. So I just sat all day for like a week and just voted for myself a bunch of times, and I actually won.
Fuck yeah.
And then during production, they were like, by the way, we're going to upgrade you. You're not just opening, you're going to be in the show now. So I was in the show.
Awesome.
And then Bill Burr was there. So I got to perform in this huge theater with Bill Burr, and like get this huge, like just the reaction of that many people reacting to you was,
Wow, that's epic.
Yeah, that was cool.
Epic.
Oh my god, I love that.
Right on.
What an amazing experience to have. Oh,
Yeah.
my god, I'm all tingly.
I love that you were able to like just vote for yourself.
Right, well, that's
like,
everyone
what a
else
great,
was like too ashamed to vote for themselves.
Fuck that.
I'm like, look, you gotta
You're
want
just
it.
like, I
You know
want
what?
this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make shit happen. I
Right.
don't care how
This
I make
is
it happen, it's
mine.
happening.
There was no rule that said you couldn't vote for yourself as
Yeah.
many times as you wanted.
Hey,
That's true.
persistency.
Gotta find those loopholes. I did it again where I
Oh, we
bought
forgot
this
the
timer. I bought this real fancy timer. I was like, I'm gonna be all smart and stuff. And I always
is a good
forget to
time.
start
Welcome
it.
to the show, everyone. We're just starting now.
We're just starting.
We've never done this
Only
before.
just begun.
Oh my god.
Right on.
What an amazing experience. Did you have that with makeup at all, Laura?
Did I have a moment that where I realized this is what I want to do?
You've done so many things, as I've come to find out. Like this woman,
She's got many.
plays the violin.
You play the violin?
Yeah,
Ooh.
dude.
She plays the bass.
Play the bass.
Classically, yeah.
Like stand-up bass?
Oh no, I wish that'd be
Oh,
cool.
like bass.
I did think about that, like bass.
Bass.
The bass, slapping the bass.
She also
I
did
think this-
coffee art.
Coffee art?
Coffee art.
Well, one of my first jobs was when I was
like,
a barista. The latte art.
Oh.
You know, those little, like, when they do a heart or, like, the little
Every
the
time that I would
leaf.
get my makeup done at her house, she would make me the most wonderful coffee. I'd be like, "Do you want me to order
She's
coffee?"
so
She's like, "No,
sweet.
I got
Really?
you." And I'm
So you're
like-
meticulous.
and
I
was
got
like,
you.
"She
You're very
must
good
have
with,
the
like,
best
details.
machine."
Yeah.
And I just
Oh, yeah.
never understood it until this podcast has made me.
You
learn
gotta
so much
love
about
your coffee. Make love to your coffee.
Make love
You know
to
what I
your
mean? Then you're
I
gonna
make
want
love to my coffee multiple times every morning. I would not be able to get out of bed.
There's nothing like that first cup, though, right? The first cup is the one
we were
that's like,
talking about this the other day, where you're just chasing that first cup
Yes.
all day, and you'll drink like 6 more. You never get that first cup of the day back
you
until
don't.
the next day.
To the next day.
that's some
And
bullshit.
It's so frustrating.
Not unless you're around me, guys.
Well, that's
I
just
got
because
you.
you have all the energy.
That's just because I'm like, all right. But
Like-
with makeup, I mean, the coolest part about that was like, I always thought being a makeup artist would be fun. I just never knew I could do it because I'd always like see it and I'd be like, oh, that looks fun, or that looks cool, or that's like a fun job. You get to play with makeup all day. It's art.
Yeah.
You know? And then I think I just realized I loved it when I started to like, you know, make money from it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
make a living. And I was like, what? I gotta wake up and paint people's faces for
Right.
fun, but get paid? Sweet. This
It's
is
validating.
it.
It's validating. It's
This
like the
is
world
it.
saying, yeah, you deserve credit for this. This was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, and it's like I get to just have so much fun. You know, we have so much fun.
So much
Whenever
fun.
we're working together.
It feels
and
illegal what we do.
it does.
Like-
And I always say, like, why
like,
is
it's
this
not. I
like
pay my
possible?
taxes, but it feels illegal. Like,
Don't come for me, yo.
Don't come for us. We didn't do anything.
we didn't do anything wrong. I've done a lot of things wrong, but nothing illegal.
I did
that
a
you
lot
can
of
come
things
for
wrong
me.
today, but you know, this was not one of them.
Every day. But it does feel like that. Like once you find like something that you're passionate or happy about that just like drives you, it's like even those days that it's shitty or that it's like it's a job,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you still appreciate it so much more than like any other thing that you could be doing.
Yes, correct. And that's exactly what I think. Like, I'm just like, I get to do this. No one's like making me. I'm not sitting at a desk job that I'm bored at. Like, you know, I know some people like that and that's cool, but like, I just probably.
Do they?
I mean, there probably is.
Some people do.
Some people.
I think some people
do.
really get some satisfaction in lady boners when they go to
I
work. They're like,
think-
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that there's
get to
another
sit at a
thing.
desk all day.
I think some people, here's one thought process I had, is that some people just really, really love to complain about their job. So it's
Yes.
like they love their job, but what they love more than their job is complaining about it. But they love the job because it gives them something to complain about.
Yeah.
Some
I mean,
people just love, like, I think they love that it's like a hierarchy. And so it's like, oh, I've been here 10 years. You've been here 4 years?
You can call me daddy.
Like, that's it. It's that, because that's, and they live for that.
kiss the ring.
Kiss the ring. I'm a senior general manager. You're just a junior general manager.
This year I got another, what do you call it, cubic zirconia in my ring, you know, for another year of lurking.
Do you know how many times my fucking face has been on this wall, goddammit? Employee of the year, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's like their parents own the company.
For real.
You know, it's some like.
I always hate, like, whenever you're applying for a job, like at like a corporate place, and they'll ask me this, like, what are your passions? I'm like, not this, bitch. What the fuck? You think I'm passionate about being a cashier? Like,
Exactly. Where do you see yourself in
I
10 years?
love-
Not here.
not here.
And I want your job or I'm not here.
Right.
I love being handed money that I don't get to keep. That's truly what
Right.
I'm passionate
Right.
about. So I think it would be a perfect fit to be this cashier of Vons.
It's true.
I'm just really into counting things. I just like counting shit. It's like what I do.
I just like being yelled at by people when their debit card doesn't work. Like that's what I love.
Yeah.
So fun. I like asking, do you want to supersize it? That's my thing. Do you want to go large today, dude?
I love when people don't speak loud enough into the little microphone box, and I love I was gonna go play with my computer. Excuse me, ma'am, what was that? And then I love when they pull up to the delivery window and they yell it at me.
And it's crystal clear. It's like, man, your mic is fucked. I don't know what happened to that mic. It's not cool to drop it, okay?
But then we're laughing, and then, like, there's people, like, I used to work security, and one of the guys there was like, again, he makes $1 more than me. And he has a different color shirt.
High roller.
High roller. And he's telling me how,
Shift
like,
leader.
they had some concert at T-Mobile Arena. He was like, yeah, there was, like, a mosh pit. And I, like, got in there and fought, like, 13 people. I said, we make $13 an hour. Like, you fought
that's $1
13
a person.
people for $13. That's $1 a person.
What is life worth?
He's, like, proud. So you're a dummy. If I see a fight happening and I'm security, I'm like, well, I'll call somebody. Like, I'm not getting in there.
What do you want to bet, though, that, like, he wasn't really fighting 13 people?
Right. He was just trying to...
Like, he was supervising other people fighting 13 people. He's like, hey, I make $1 more than you, so I'm going to supervise the situation. You guys are doing great.
You guys are doing good.
So it's like I fought 13 people.
And then he gets to brag about fighting 13 people.
Exactly.
Taking
He
credit
goes
for other
home.
people's work.
He goes home like, yeah.
Well, that's
you know
kind of
what
like
I
with
did?
comedy, right? Like, jokes are always embellished a little
True.
bit from the story.
True.
You can relate.
That is another thing I absolutely despise is being at work and people go like, so, like, is this going to be in, like, one of your skits? Like, I don't know, man. I'm just here to work.
Like, people are, like, wanting to try to inject themselves into your bits.
They do. They want to. It's like, okay, let's chill here.
Am I funny enough to, like, be a part of your set, man?
Right. Like, no, I know something pretty funny. I know something pretty funny. And they're like, tell you just like a really racist joke. It's like, okay. All right.
But, like, you can say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, no.
Not happening.
Not happening, buddy.
What is with people? It's kind of funny. I get that sometimes, not that, but I get like a similar thing with people who think that they want to do my job.
Yeah.
So they want all the advice on how to do the job.
These are girls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's guys.
Some guys.
You always get those DMs where it's like, BB, dick 12 long, how I get in porn? You help me?
Dick 12 long. Just in case you don't know, 12 is long.
Massively long. Like,
That's a big old ding dong.
Jeez, it's my fist. That's literally my
another
fist.
forearm at that point.
Oh.
And he just wants to know, how do I get into
How
this?
do I get into porn? And I would like to tell anybody,
Baby.
I don't freaking know, okay? Like, I got put into this. So go find somebody who can abuse you and put you into an industry that you didn't decide for yourself and then, you know, make a success out of yourself. Do it my way. Or I don't freaking know. Like, figure it out. You have to figure it out.
Go get an agent or something.
Go
But
get an
it
agent.
gets to the point, like, you can-
Or find a girl, get a camera, have sex with her, put it on the internet.
Yeah,
and
there
did
you
it.
go.
You did it.
That's it. That's it.
He's messaging all the wrong people. Just do it. Just put it on the internet.
Just do it.
You're in.
Think about it.
Yeah.
You're in, bro.
literally-
You're in.
Like,
did
that's,
it.
like think
Baby,
about it first.
you're
Think
in.
about the ramifications of that. But, like, if
12
you do have a 12-inch ding-dong,
You
12
do-
long.
Hey, baby. 12 inch long. I don't know if you heard me.
it's just a Subway sandwich.
Pretty much.
He's like, I'm offering you this sandwich in exchange to get me into porn.
Wow.
Oh my god, no, but with girls who think it's like, because you always hear that, right? That porn is easy money, or like OnlyFans
Not
stuff is
easy.
just easy money. It's not. I'm tired all the time, and I'm turning 31 very soon, and I'm really feeling it. You know what I mean? Like, because you have to work really so much, and you have to diversify. You can't just do the one thing. But a lot of people, they think it's easy, so they want to go into it and just do it, and like, oh, if I just copy what you do, I'm like, you can't copy what I do. I can barely do what I do. You know what I mean?
And the arrogance. Like, I'll just do what you do. Okay.
All right. You have fun with that.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
Nice.
You're
Yeah.
gonna develop these dark circles real quick. And then you're gonna need a Laura to fix it for you.
Hey.
She didn't do
Only
makeup.
makeup can only do so much.
Like, do you really just try and like scare them?
Yes, I actually. It's literally a thing I do. So what I like to do is I give all of the absolute best advice I can after I give a big laundry list of why this is probably not for you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And typically they'll still go and disregard all of the first bit and then be like, but I can do this and then this. And I'm like, all right.
Sure.
Have fun with that. I've set you up the best way that I possibly can. It's more than anyone ever did for me. And it still doesn't work out. Because it's like you're just not willing necessarily to put in the time, or you haven't thought about it, and then, or you're letting other people decide things for you, and then it's just, it becomes a really bad thing. And I know that because I did it as a really bad thing for a very long time where I wasn't happy in it. You know what I mean?
Sometimes that's the only way you can learn, though. You gotta learn the hard way.
Exactly. But that's why it's like, I can give all the advice in the world, but I pretty much don't anymore.
And then
this is what the podcast is for. If you want advice,
listen. All you do is listen right now. If you baby 12-inch long, listen.
Listen up.
Listen, baby.
Listen. Oh, I don't know.
You said you don't have a lot of girl listeners?
No, I wish there was more.
You should get that shirtless beefcake out there to come in, and he'll get some girls in there.
Actually, so we are in talks right now with a new sponsor potentially who may be using him. I haven't told him yet that I'm going to use him for it.
Hey,
but he's going to be used for it.
We need
you will be used, shirtless beefcake.
We need you,
We're going to
baby.
use you.
BB 12-inch long.
Stand there and look pretty.
Oh, man. Baby.
I love it so much because it's always the BB. And that would be the funniest thing. Oh my god, on webcam.
Look, his dick's so big, all the blood's on his dick. He doesn't have time to type all the letters. Okay? He's like, look, BB, that's all I got, bitch. I'm dying over here.
He's just hitting the keyboard with his dick.
That's all you get, baby. 12.
The tip of his cock is so big, it's just like pounding against the B like it's only a thing.
Oh god.
Oh my god. I'm glad
I needed that.
I'm glad I don't pee when I laugh.
I did. Fuck your
I
chairs.
just know it's gonna get to that point. Oh my god, I love laughing. It's so good.
It's healing.
I went so many years not laughing that much. It's really nice.
Oh my.
I love it. It's so fun. That's why. So anyway, back to
Speaking
comedy.
of the comedy,
What's
man.
your go-to, I need a laugh, and this will make me laugh?
Bargain Bob's.
Bargain Bob?
1 minute in heaven.
Wait, what's that?
Wow. Oh my god.
Do you know that?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm learning something new too.
Bargain Bob's 1 minute in heaven?
Did you not watch it when I sent it to you? No. You said you were going to watch it. You didn't watch it.
What is it? Maybe I'll remember.
He gets the prostitute.
Oh yes. Oh,
He puts
I
a
know what
child
this
in her
is.
ass.
Yes.
Wait,
Yeah.
he put a child
Oh,
Would you like
my-
to watch
I'll
this
watch Bargain
live?
Bob's.
All right.
This is amazing.
This is.
I'm so
I
happy.
thought you were talking about like Bob's Discount Furniture. I was
I've
like,
seen this.
those ads, they really
I've
get you?
actually
Like,
witnessed
he's
this.
trying to sell.
She
makes
showed
me
this
laugh
to me. She was like,
every
"Look at
time.
this," and
Yeah.
I was like, "The fuck."
Okay. This is like fucked up.
It's fucked
It's
up.
fucked up.
So if you guys have ever heard of You Fucked, Don't Go There. Here we go. We'll find it.
It's so fucked. Prepare.
This Bargain Bob
Really
getting fucked.
excited. Oof.
Is that the bargain? How much I get to fuck Bob?
It's a bargain. We'll play the audio loud so that they can hear it, but just press play whenever you're ready.
Press the put and the audio. Okay. Oh my god. Bargain Bob's 1 minute in heaven. Oh my gosh. Rubbing her down.
Oh, gotta make sure that shit's clean.
Right, you gotta wipe her off.
White glove.
Now it's gotta go in there. God damn. It looks like the camera with the sunglasses on. Calm. Oh man. Oh man, this is Bargain Bob. 30 seconds left, Bob. Come on, don't get tired now,
Ooh,
motherfucker.
that ass.
There you go, Bob.
Oh, derp.
He's getting close to the end.
Oh shit. Blast off.
Oh my god. Dude it. God damn it.
It's like New Year's Eve. 3, 2.
Oh, Bargain Bob. He tore that minute up. He did a lot in a minute.
Fuck, shut up.
My favorite.
I think I blocked that from my memory. That's why when she
You
said
actively forgot that.
I've
Yeah.
never seen it. No, I've seen it.
Somewhere deep in the crevices of her mind is Bargain Bob, and you just rewatching him.
I didn't even watch it. I'm crying.
I mean, my
So
God.
that's what makes me laugh.
Are you okay? Well, here's the thing. Are you laughing at Bob? Because my man was serious. He thought he was in there tearing that ass up.
I'm more laughing at the subtitles, if
Derp.
I'm honest. There's a lot of derp. I'm laughing with Bob, if you will. Like, I think of
Is
it.
that his thing that he comes in a minute?
I don't know.
'Cause
It's the
he put
only
the
thing
timer
I've
there,
ever
right?
seen of Bob. I don't know
think
if
it
he's
just
alive.
so happened to be a minute, maybe.
I
don't
think
know.
it just. I don't know how it got on the internet, but I'm so happy that it did. And I go back to that so many times.
You know, it's funny that you said that, because that was like, I had something in my head when I thought about what's funny, and it was pornographic, but I was like, I can't say that. But because you just showed Bargain Bob, I'm like, because so South Park, they did an episode, they're talking about like porn. I think like the internet went out, and so like Randy's like looking at all these porn websites, you remember? And one of them was Brazilian fart porn, and I thought surely they made that up. They did not. It exists.
real.
And the part that always makes me giggle is because they're actresses, they're trying to act, and they're acting sexy. You can't act sexy when someone farts in your face. Like, that is a visceral, huh, every time.
You can't. I had it happen with a queef once. On
Yeah,
set.
those are funny.
Oh my god, I just couldn't tell if it was a fart or a queef, and I
Those are
shrieked and I
funny.
fell off the bed. It took so long for that scene to come out. I'm so sorry, Brassers.
Someone queefed in your face?
Yeah.
It's probably like a,
So anyway, can I describe this? And you'll see, I was already on edge when it happened, and this has nothing to do with the girl. She was fantastic. She was lovely. I was not personally prepared. No one prepared me for what was going to happen, because I went into this thing, oh, it's a tickle fetish. Can you tickle someone? I'm like, of course I can tickle someone with a feather. Of course. They didn't specify that I was tickling her and she was going to squirt. Like a geyser that
geyser.
never ever ended. And I was newer to shooting mainstream at the time. And so I went into this like, oh, I'm gonna tickle her, it's gonna be great. And she just drank so much water, like so much water.
She tried to waterboard you.
And but they said that she had just flown into Vegas the night before. I'm like, oh, she's dehydrated. It's Vegas, like it's dry as fuck here, you know. And then the scene began, and I wore my own dress to set that day because I was like, "I'll look real nice in this," and I threw it away because I couldn't handle it. It just kept coming. My
my
makeup
gosh.
was down my face. It was crazy, and then bent over into position, and everything was so wet. It was just wet everywhere.
so good.
It was just like swimming in a bed, if that makes sense.
You're
And I
just-
can't just trying to keep my head above water, but then there's more water.
What kind of
I
water
need my
pressure? What kind of
floaties.
PSI? What kind of PSI?
Like, it was clean. Like, it was basically water coming out. Like,
that's
it was
a good
it
thing.
was
You
fine.
won't want it to be
But-
dehydrated yellow piss.
like you know when you're in middle school and you go to the water fountain, is it like, or is it like dribbling out?
No, okay, so like when it happens, like without being that hydrated, I've made girls squirt on cam before. So even if someone had warned me of squirt, I couldn't have been prepared for what was going to happen.
Can't be.
Because when it actually does happen, if you guys know this, it's not necessarily like you see in the movies. Because it's more of a dribble. Like, you get a little squirt, but it's not like
It's like
a fire hose. You know what I mean? Like, it's not.
it's kind of like a.
But it's surprising in the moment.
It's surprising
You're like,
in the moment. It's surprising, but then you're like, oh, it's
Wow.
fine. But that's it. And there's not more. This was never ending. I was so...
So this was like a.
It was like a... And so I was
Well, that's
not
why this
prepared.
girl was on camera
It
doing
was
it.
fine.
She had a talent.
She had a
Trying to
talent.
put a fire out.
She had a talent. I was just not
What if
prepared.
that was her superpower, like an X-Men?
so
Yeah,
cool.
that would be
X-Men
great.
movie. Just like,
I got
Charles
you.
Xavier just sits there with all this stuff.
He's like, I know exactly what you were thinking about. Like, she did have a talent for sure. I was just not prepared. And now I don't remember why I was talking about this at all.
Well,
I was talking about Brazilian fart porn because that is similar in the way where you cannot prepare for a fart.
Yes.
And here's the thing: they did many farts in the video, and you think by number 15 you'll be like, "All right, I'm in. This is just a fart." Like every time they go, "Ah."
Yeah, porn. I mean, it doesn't surprise me to hear about it being real because there's so much fetish porn out there. I mean, when I first moved to Vegas, I started doing makeup for fetish.
Oh, for fetish stuff.
And
That's
like,
really
it was girls drinking like 2 liters of cream soda and just burping.
Really?
And that's a fetish, you know? And like,
I knew
there's,
about the burps. Yeah.
There's the inflation porn we would do. I would like, you know, the girl would turn into a blueberry. You
Right.
know, like the
Like
Willy
Veruca Salt?
Wonka. Yeah.
Okay, excuse me.
Wow.
How did I not know this about you? Yet again,
What?
here we are making
I
discoveries.
swear we've talked about
No,
this.
we have not.
When I first moved here, I got a couple gigs doing fetish porn makeup. Yeah,
You did
and
not
it was
tell me
like it
this.
was pretty interesting. I have some funny stories I can tell you.
I fall more and more in love
So
with you.
was the girl had to blow up like a
We put her
blueberry?
in an inflation suit.
That's got to be like one guy who's into that. Like,
Yeah,
everyone
at
to
least-
the-
no,
It just
specifically
blows up.
At least 5.
5.
At least.
That's 5
That
guys.
one guy paid
Unless she
really
turns
good
into a
money.
blueberry. Look, unless she's a blueberry dog, I'm not interested. No strawberries, no boysenberries, no cherries.
Don't fuck with me.
I need a blueberry.
The first time I jerked off was to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
That's what
okay?
it's all about.
I came
Yeah, the
as soon as she
fans-
inflated into a blueberry.
Fans say that in the chat. Like that's how like they
Wow.
first had their first like
Sexual experience watching
They
Charlie
were-
and the Chocolate Factory.
stuff like that.
Like the
Wow.
original or like
The
Johnny
OG.
Depp?
No, the OG. I'm sure.
Ooh, what does it say about you? I think what kid, when you're a kid that you identified with, what does that say about you? You know, when you're sitting there. This kid was watching the chick get blown up like a blueberry. Was like, oh fuck yeah.
I guess it's just the fetish of the blowing up. Yeah. I know.
Question.
it's
That's
crazy.
one thing that I've never really heard talked about. I have female fans, of course. I'm OnlyFans too. Shout out, ladies. I love you so much. And that was a really gross wink that I did, and I'll never do that again. I felt such a fuckboy. Anyway, wow. But men seem to have more fetishes, and now kink is something totally different. Now, if you don't know the difference, Jordan, kink is something that you enjoy, right? Like something that's like, ooh, like that's a nice turn on, but you don't need it all the time. This is wholesome. I'm just educating
The
people.
frog too. That's a
Oh, the
kink.
frog.
Yeah.
Oh, this thing right
Yeah,
here.
that could be a good kink right
Yeah,
there.
that's a good kink. Yeah, but
But it's not like I can't come unless I use this.
yes,
It doesn't inflate.
yeah, exactly. Doesn't inflate.
Yeah.
And then there's a fetish, and that's like what you pretty much need to come.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like maybe you can get off in other ways, but it's not going to be as satisfying. And it's like you pretty much need this to come. But I haven't really noticed fetishes as much with women as with men, and I'm wondering like why that is. I wish I knew a
chicks
doctor.
are so like repressed. Like you like bad thoughts, girls. You're not supposed to lie back and think of England. Like all of that's just
Yeah,
inbred.
that's true. That's
in the
true.
culture.
We never, because I never really got any of that kind of talk about anything. I was masturbating before I knew what that even was, but I know it's for a different time. but it's not like that's like, oh, like guys are just like, oh, you discover and then you start jerking off and you do it all the
It's
time.
different, right? Like it's different.
Yeah, but there's a lot of women that I talk to even now who don't masturbate.
She looked right at you.
Well, hey, I mean, you know, I'm getting there.
You still have to
gave me
test out that toy.
Exactly.
I gave that to you like a month ago.
It's
There's another wink. Hold on.
been charging
We're
for
gonna
a
do a
month.
trifecta.
Hey!
3 winks, baby.
Can we also talk about the fact that when she showed up today, she said that she wanted to make out with me and then proceeded to not make out with me.
Well, there's a thing, like, you know, I was like,
You are a fuckboy then if she's teasing you. But
I was like, unless you want to make out. She's like, actually, I do. And I was like, fuck. I walked right into that
you walk
one.
right in there.
Laura is my very wholesome friend. She's one of my 2 friends, pretty much, that I haven't seen naked
Really?
before. And so I'm just always
Am I not
sexually
your friend or
harassing
did you
her.
see me naked?
I've definitely seen you naked. You were on EFUX.
That's right, yeah. When I got here, that was the first thing I did was I hung dong. I said, baby, baby 12, baby 12.
Or you did what, you know, you did with Courtney. Like, here's the bath. Or no, you were
Oh
like,
my God.
she walked in on you in the bathroom or something. You're like, this is how we properly introduce ourselves.
My roommate walked in on me the other day when I was naked, and I was low-key flattered, but pissed off by how long he stayed. He lingered for a good while.
It's just like, bro.
Just like,
But then he's like, huh?
right. It was like a solid 8 seconds where I'm like, we know what happened. You came in, I'm naked. You're still here.
Stop making eye contact with my third eye.
Yeah,
You can leave now.
I remember I rented. I'm always eating this pillow. Remember I had this landlord who would just always show up unannounced at this place that I was renting in California. And this is when I was camming, and I would cam for like 10 to 12 hours sometimes in a day. And I would just be naked. Like, you're just naked all the time. And I would go into the kitchen to get a coffee, and she'd just like be there.
Naked.
And
Can she be naked?
and so then she was naked, and I fucked my landlord in the ass.
Hey.
No, but it was always so funny because she would just like show up at the most random times, and I would just walk into the kitchen and be butt ass naked. I'm like, Donna, what are you doing here?
Did she live there too?
No,
She would just pop in.
she would just pop in. Well, it was
She must have liked that.
it was
you know,
just-
she was
She
like,
must
I'm
have
just
been.
gonna keep.
She must have been
popping
baby
in.
12. She was trying to- baby, you got 12.
Well,
it was this weird thing that like part of the house burned down, so she was like always there to help facilitate repairs that were somehow never repaired.
She's just sipping her coffee, watching you.
Just watching, getting a free show.
She's like, so this is how she pays rent.
Oh my God.
Oh, nice.
I remember it was crazy. So she had I don't know why I'm remembering this now, but there was this weird mural on the wall of the kitchen that was apparently her father as a chef. And I was like, oh, is he a chef? Like when I was looking at renting the place, and she's like, no. And so anyway, it was weird. So I covered it up with like
BB.
one of those boho tapestry things. You know what I mean? And she came in one of the times, and I'm naked, right? And she's just like, so I noticed that you covered up the mural.
Wow.
I'm like, at this point, she had already seen me naked like 3 times. So it's like, what are we doing at this point?
But she's offended that you
But she
covered up the
was-
mural. That's
she-
not your father.
she
That-
was offended.
Who's also not a chef.
I'm like, I just didn't want your not chef father eyeing me every
Yeah.
time I'm in here naked getting coffee, much like I don't want you here eyeing me while I'm getting coffee naked.
They're all helping themselves to your coffee too. She's all like, oh, this coffee's great.
She was a creeper. She was being a little creep.
Oh, yeah. That was a whole debacle. I'm really happy that I don't have to rent anymore because landlords, I've just had. Have you ever had like a horrible landlord?
I've been pretty lucky, even though, so the landlord that I used to rent from in Los Angeles, I just found out that like, he like fought a tenant and like broke the kid's finger. He kind of like went nuts. Pandemic. He went nuts in the pandemic.
That's what you were saying earlier,
Yeah.
is that you kind of left LA because everything got just
Everyone
all
got
friggin'
kind of
wild.
crazy. People got really weird. Like, I guess he wasn't leaving the house either. He straight up thought the kid upstairs was like sneaking into his room and like spying on him. He literally thought like paranoid schizophrenia type stuff. And like, I'd known this guy for 5 years. He had never been like that at all.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic hit, and all of a sudden he's talking about this kid. And the kid was like this tiny, frail, like, and he broke the kid's finger somehow.
Oh my God.
And and then he sent me and like 3 other old roommates like this random email being like, so you guys might have heard like this whole thing happened with this kid where I broke his finger. If you guys could just like write a thing saying that I'm not like a violent person. And I was like, hey man, this is
I want none.
yeah, I don't want none of this.
Like maybe you weren't, but now you are. So-
Oh my
right.
god.
Also, just it sounds like you just let the kid move out and let it go.
Oh my God. Yeah, people are wild. Have you ever had a bad landlord?
Nah, not really. I mean, luckily, I've always gone through like good agencies or like real estate agent people. Never had any stories like that.
That was probably my problem.
Like, were you going through like,
just like
people
Craigslist.
I just go on
directly?
like,
You hit up baby 12 and said, baby 12, I need a place to live.
He's
got
like,
anybody?
I got you.
I got you.
I'm just gonna come in for coffee.
oh, we talked about this.
Unannounced.
No, I hate Craigslist. That's how my ex used to like.
Yeah, fuck.
We used
Craigslist.
to do what auction off my pussy to the biggest cock.
To the biggest cuck?
Cock.
Cock.
He was a cuck.
He was a cuck.
Yes.
He oh man. That is something I'm always like, is that I can't ever imagine.
But he was like a cuck who hated it. Like I don't know if that makes sense. Like
I don't think I hated it. Well,
Yeah,
that's the thing. They go,
but it's
"Oh,
weird.
yeah."
But if I didn't do it, then that would be like a worse fight than if I did do it.
He needed
Do you
to
know-
be humiliated.
Yeah, but then he's
Wow.
also like, but you're a piece of shit and you're a whore and you're
Ugh.
yeah,
You need to work on
Manipulative.
yourself, buddy.
yeah,
Before you can be cucked.
yeah. Yeah, you gotta like, yeah, that's not, I don't recommend it. Wasn't for me, won't be for me ever again.
Fuck that. I know. Oh, and also, I really want to talk about weed dick.
Oh my
Weed
god!
dick.
So we
Is this-
actually.
yeah, can we ask you? Is that
Is it
such a thing?
Where you get high and you can't fuck?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay,
I know.
because-
So we were wondering.
I have a voicemail about if I can. Laura, it's doing the thing
Okay,
again.
let's see. Oh, I see.
I see it, but it's not moving. Wait. Oh.
There you go. This is a
Uh-huh.
voicemail from someone that's regarding
Ooh.
weed dick.
Yeah, because
And
we
after
asked
this,
about
I got
weekend.
something that I can. I just heard about it on a podcast.
Oh,
David
yes.
Ferris about porn and female-centric porn. I think it's like made by women for women. I just found out about
Yeah,
today.
so I've heard a little bit about that too.
Wow.
You might know the
Oh.
website.
I've heard of the website, but I can't think of what it is.
It's
But
called. What is it?
Well, that's
Melissa,
actually-
I think. Melissa, something like that.
that's actually cool because so I've thought about this too because I have like a lot of female fans. Sorry, sidebar. We'll get back to weed dick. But I've thought I have more female fans now than I ever did when I was camming because like I feel like with webcam, especially on the site that I was very like guys and very guys who want, you know, this was not always the case, but it got to a point with some people where it would be like, I own you because of how much money I spent on you, like that
Gross.
kind of thing with the big ones. And it was not all like that, you know, still have a lot of very amazing fans from that site, but a lot of toxicity there. But with having women now that I do make customs for, that I do, you know, interact with sexually in the DMs and all that fun stuff, it's like it's been more fun to also create stuff that I like more as well. And I feel like I can also put that into more of the stuff that I create for my male fan base, and they've been liking it too.
Cool.
They
I like that.
probably would like something that they feel like they could watch with a woman instead of jerking off in the shame of their basement. Like,
Yeah.
it's something that is more porn for general audiences.
Yeah, like porn for beginners.
Porn
like,
for beginners.
Porn for people that have only ever done missionary. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to go right into the bukkake stuff and the fart or the Brazilian fart
Brazilian
porn.
fart
Yeah.
You can
That's
start
another
easy.
level.
That's another level.
And it doesn't always have to be, you know, because I feel like a lot of times in mainstream stuff as well, like I've never really been a huge fan of mainstream stuff. Like I like being in the stuff. I like being on set, and I like, you know, a day on set, and I love, you know, having that kind of production level stuff.
Yeah.
But-
Awesome locations.
Yeah, but
killer
for
makeup
myself, I've always
artists.
preferred more like amateur stuff or any of that kind of thing because I feel like often the stories are just very much recycled. It's like, how many times, Laura, do you think that I knelt behind a bathroom door eating some woman out from behind while her husband was there pretending he couldn't see me?
Yeah, peeking through.
Like-
yeah, I know. How many times? Oh, all the time.
Yeah,
right?
all the time.
It's like every day.
Or it's like we're scissoring in a bathtub
Yeah,
with no
easy,
water in it.
easy.
With
Very
Easy.
no
easy.
water in it.
Or a
Why?
shower that's running and
Look
doesn't
how
have
long my
hot
legs
water.
are. It doesn't work.
Or like, you know, a shower that doesn't have hot water and it's a set house. And you're like, well, fuck, you're gonna have to be under this cold ass water and good luck
Jesus.
being hard if you're a guy. You know what I mean?
oh
it's
my
just
god,
like,
it's just like the
woo.
most ridiculous scenario. So anyway, but yes, like more realistic porn I think is like kind of good. I think that's good anyway.
Or get creative with it. One time I saw comedy in like the category and I went, what the then shit? And I clicked and I remember it was like slapstick. Like they did a thing where they set up a water slide and then they sent the chick down it, so like she's sliding and then they make it seem like it just went right into the dick like that.
Yeah.
And I was like that was creative. Yeah, that's fun.
See, that's actually the stuff that I love to make. So
She slid into a vagina.
I did. I did an oil
Brandy
wrestling
May.
scene with Brandy May, and we were just having fun with it. You know, we shot it all in kind of slow mo, so it could just look really like, you know.
A Zack Snyder film, like
And so at one point, I just made a crazy face and dove like right into
Right
her
in
pussy.
there. Yeah.
But
And
I
I
did,
was like, just like, this is dope.
the first movie that I ever shot myself was a Step Brothers parody. So I wrote a script and called it Stepsisters, and I shot it with like my best friend, so she played my stepsister, and we kind of just
Someone hadn't
re-dialogued the
done
whole
that
movie.
before?
Not
Because that is a
not that
brilliant
I've heard.
idea. I'm like, damn, how did no one go?
Yeah, and she was not a super explicit performer, so
Yeah.
we just had like a basic girl scene. I had like a toy scene, and then I had a fake simulated boy-girl scene with Charles Dara.
Were you dressed like with curly hair wings, like what's the Will and John C.
No,
Reilly, that
no,
movie?
we just kind of went off like that same
The idea,
idea,
yeah.
but it went to the point like I shaved Charles Dara's Charles Dara's, yeah, that is what I said, his ass. So I just sprayed, cream all over it, and we simulated him, like, blowing this huge load, like, all over my vagina. Like, it was just the most ridiculous thing, and we just, like, improv'd the whole thing.
That's great.
It was so funny. But, like, that's the kind of, fucked up shit I like to make. I've always done this stuff. I call it comedy.
That would be kind of funny if, like, maybe, like, the dude's, like, about to nut, and it really is just, like, this huge force, and then, like, you get, like a stunt woman, and it, like, goes, like, bah! And just sits there.
Blows her back.
Yeah, boom, a whole wobble.
Yeah. No, I love that kind of stuff. I think that more people should make porn like that. So if you guys have the budget as studios, you just should start doing it.
Let's do it.
Do it.
All right, let's hear about some weed dick.
Who called about the weed dick? Marilyn?
Hi, Molly. This is Anana Lama, and I have a question for you. And then also I was going to make a comment about weed dick. Weed dick is a definite thing. It's like the car is all gassed up and you just have nowhere to go. So the question I have for you is, if dining at the Y, and you can just sense that she's not into it, she's not feeling it, how long should you keep trying before you ask her if you should quit?
Wait, what? Did he say dining at the Y?
That's what I thought.
I think so. Let's say it again. I'm kidding.
Is he talking about eating pussy?
I think so.
Dining at the Y? That's all I could think.
I think that's Marilyn. Naughty man.
Yeah.
I've never heard that expression before.
You're now dining at the Y. That
And
sounded
she's
very
not
regal.
feeling it.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so here's what you should do.
I love him.
Marilyn, if you're dining at the Y and you can sense that she's not feeling it, then you shouldn't be like, just keep doing it until you're like, should I stop? What you should do is be like, what would feel good for you? Or like, what do you want me to do to you? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, ask leading questions. Do you know what I mean? Don't just be like, should I stop? Like, you don't want to stop. You've already gone through the effort of having someone's face between your legs. It's like,
That's
you want to
true.
get off. You know what I mean? But if you could just ask, like
Communicate?
communicate. That's the
It's
only
like,
thing.
yo, is this feeling right? Is this feel
But
good?
definitely don't be like, should I stop? because that's definitely a mood killer. Like, should I?
Also, switch up your
Should I
strain of
stop?
weed if it's making you soft, because that's not weed.
Yeah.
That's coke. Coke
That's
does that, buddy.
Don't be a quitter.
I've just never, but I've heard that from some people before, but I guess everybody has a different reaction
makes
to
them-
weed.
That sounds like horrible. That sounds horrible.
That sounds horrible because we talked about it before. We love
did.
weed.
I'd be like, fuck.
Right.
No.
Can't smoke. Can't get a contact high.
There's
Cut off
whiskey
my
dick. Yeah, there's whiskey dick.
Whiskey dick, yeah.
Yeah, whiskey dick makes more sense, but I've always felt like most people that I've known is more like an enhancer sexually than
Whiskey?
No, weed.
Weed? Yeah.
Weed, whiskey just turns me into like a complete lesbian.
Coke is the worst, though. Coke is the
just
worst
like,
because it makes you super horny, and you're either soft,
Yeah.
so you can't do shit, or you're hard as a rock for like 8 hours. And then you're like, okay.
I've never had that experience before. But man, can I say appreciation for men? Also, can we just say first man that we've had in the
What?
new podcast space?
Boom. This is how you get that female bass.
That's what's up. We need more lady listeners now because we've got a lot of dudes in here. But
Right.
you can get on his.
Even
bass.
Marilyn's a dude. I thought it was a chick.
The name when you say it like Marilyn does sound like Marilyn.
Yeah.
But no, well, I'm glad at least. I'm sorry that you are having weed dick, and I'm sorry to anyone that has weed dick because that sounds like a very, very
Yeah.
sad thing.
Also, just take a blue chew or something. They got weed pills. They
Yeah,
have
I've been
literal
seeing
pills
about
for your dick.
that. Is that Blue Chew real?
So
Yeah, it's real.
Blue
Oh,
Chew,
dang.
Blue Chew. If you want to sponsor, I have a primarily male audience.
Right. We got weed dick listeners.
We can talk
We
about
do?
it.
Actually, one thing that also helps when you're smoking weed is liquid IV. Did you guys know that one stick of liquid IV dissolved in 16 ounces of water hydrates faster and more effectively than water alone with the help of CTT technology, transporting all of the 5 essential vitamins and nutrients into your system: vitamin B3, B6, B12, B5, and vitamin C to help with immune deficiency
All the
problems.
bees.
All the bees.
We love it.
All the bees.
And it tastes so good.
It does taste good.
Have you had Liquid IV?
I think I have. It makes you feel super hydrated. It's like you feel like you drank
would you
twice as much
Would
water.
you like to try it?
Sure.
We could have a little.
I'll try it on
water
air.
Let's do a
break.
little water break.
A little water break.
We'll be right back. Water boy. Voicemails are cool to like.
Those
get.
are, yeah.
We're always like, come on, people, submit more. We want to hear what you guys think.
That was also very, just like a very, like, distinguished question. I feel like he really thought about that.
Yeah, well, we've been asking people for weeks now, because, like, someone had left a voicemail talking about, like, weed dick, and we were like, is that a thing? Like, I've never heard of that. And then, so we were like, everybody, if you've ever experienced it, like, call in, let us know, like, what it's all about. When dining at the Y.
When dining at the Y. That's very, that's what I'm going to start saying from now on.
That's so, like, classy.
May I dine at your Y?
Yeah, exactly. It sounds so sophisticated.
It does.
About a lot more.
So, what we have here is we have golden cherry and we have yuzu pineapple. So I also filled a glass for you right there. The yuzu pineapple has an energy multiplier, which I actually really like, and it doesn't hit like an energy drink does. So, you know, I get like really jittery on Bang. I didn't used to, but I think I've said it before, but it's like when I have Bang, I have to make sure that I'm using that energy or I get like really like anxious and twitchy.
Yeah.
You even have a spinner right here to go ahead and,
Very special spoon.
Special. I like the skull on it. And we're getting ready for October. You know?
Spooky season.
Do you have your Halloween costume ready?
So actually, yes, we
Have
do.
a few.
We have a few. We have a few that I'm releasing for my subscription site, and then Laura and I have a couple's costume that we're going to do for a podcast. But you guys have to stay tuned. It's releasing on Halloween.
Ooh,
so
you're not even going to say what it is.
Not even going to say what it is.
We have
Laura's-
a couple
Boy.
couples costumes.
Yeah, we do. Actually, we have a couple couples costumes.
What about you? What are you going to be?
I don't know.
You're going to be in New York?
I'm going to be in New York for Halloween, so if you're in New York, hit me up.
Hey!
I'll tell you my best Halloween costume, and it's on Reddit, if you've been on there, was I did a, like, Jason Voorhees hockey mask and a hockey jersey, and then I did 50% off sticker, on sale sticker, 50% off sticker, on sale sticker all over it, and I was Black Friday the 13th.
Oh my god. That's actually amazing. That's iconic.
It was good.
Check it out, everyone.
I'm not anywhere near that
If you don't know what
creative.
to be, go on Reddit.
I'm just like, what's the sexy thing that I can make money in?
Oh my god.
I might do that, though. I saw a
The
guy...
sexy thing you can make money in?
Well, a guy last year, 2 years ago, 2 years ago, I was on Fremont, and he had just, like, a safari hat and, like, shirtless safari shirt and then, like, shorts, and it said Pussy Tamer on the back. And he had, like, a tiger. And I was like, you know what? All right.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Props.
That's
Props
real
to
good.
that.
I like that. That's very
Have
creative.
you seen the turtle humping the shoe video?
Where he
it's
goes,
like, ah!
Yeah.
That was me on Halloween
yeah.
last year.
The turtle going,
She was the
I had the
turtle and
turtle
her man.
backpack.
Her man was a shoe.
He was a Converse.
Yeah.
It was the only kind of like shoe costume I could find last minute.
That's so good. So, are you excited to be moving to New York?
I'm so excited. I think I like the idea of living on the East Coast. I don't want to have to, like, drive in a car anymore, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sick of the heat.
Yeah.
It is very hot. That's why we need Liquid IV.
It is. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. If you want to experience better hydration today, go to liquidiv.com and use code TWND. You get 15% off and free shipping.
That's
It's really
a lot
good.
of discount.
I know
It's
we
delicious.
talk about it every episode, but I was drinking this long before they wanted to sponsor the podcast.
Can I try to plug?
Yeah, of course.
If you want to squirt super hard, get Liquid IV.
Yes.
Just a gusher and the guys are coming out between your legs. Liquid IV. They're a proud sponsor of the podcast.
Yeah, yes, they are. We were just talking last episode about how it's good for anal
Yeah, and keeping women wet worldwide.
and how Liquid IV
Keeping
is going to
women
be
wet.
like, all right,
Worldwide.
guys.
That's
I don't
the
care,
answer
I've
to the
said nothing
question.
yet.
If you're dining on her Y and she's not wet down there, get some Liquid IV.
And him too. He might need the energy multiplier to go. You know, like
No,
that's
it's true.
the problem.
That's what
Maybe
makes
he's just going a little too
You're not
soft.
amped up, so get
Right.
amped up.
Get Yeah.
Eat
Hit
at the
in that
Y.
Dine at the Y.
Dine at the Y.
It sounds like a very like royal British family way.
Should we start a
of saying
restaurant?
going there.
Dining at the Y this
Madam, I'm
evening.
going to go down on your Y. Is the Queen around? I'm going to dine on her Y.
Oh my god.
And have you ever been, or you've lived in New York before? Or is this
I
first time you're-
visited, but I've never
Nice.
actually lived there, so I'm excited. And they got
Oh
a
my
great
God,
comedy scene out
yes.
there.
Yeah, they
It's really
do.
nice.
Very
they're really
excited for
exciting.
you. We're gonna have to come out there and see you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be so freaking cool. I haven't been to New York in forever.
We
since
will
I was a
co-
kid.
we
Have you
will-
been to New York?
I have, but not
Yeah.
for, I didn't get to spend enough time there, so it'd be nice to go again and like at least do like a week.
Yeah.
You know, because we were there like in and out, too much to see. You
Right,
know?
it's so much to see.
Yeah.
And I like traveling. I like exploring. I like
Yeah.
going all over to different cities and getting to know them. you
Yeah.
know?
I think like my favorite thing about being there though was like, do you remember those shitty B movies made by Troma, like Toxic Avenger or like any of those like B movies? Like they're
Toxic
really,
Avenger sounds familiar.
they're like just Lloyd Kaufman. He has like a company called Troma Films, and they're just like all those really raunchy like old B movies. And I got to go in the studio there, which was really cool. Which is
that's
like
cool.
I think we were just walking down the street and it said Troma, and I was like, wait, like the Troma? And I think I knocked on the door and I was like, oh my god, like they let us take a tour.
Oh, that's
That was
dope.
like a highlight of New York
cool.
for me, but I want to go experience like Central Park
Proper,
and like
yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
Town
go see all the
Square. I didn't
things.
see Town Square, so
Yeah.
that's like a thing.
It's a thing.
That's a thing I've heard. I've seen it on
Statue of
TV.
Liberty, you know, things, all
Yeah.
things.
Oh, it's exciting. Do you think there's, as far as like LA, because you moved out to LA to kind of like break into all the comedy, do you think that New York is going to be less, I've heard, this is only what I've heard, that LA is kind of very clique.
LA is, I mean, everything's a clique. It's like a comedy club. It is a club. But I
Yeah.
think the members of the club in New York maybe are, in LA, there's a lot of people doing comedy because it's like, I want to act, or I want to just be famous. I want to be the next Kardashian. I want to like, do this, not comedy. So the pool is very crowded.
Yeah.
So I feel like in New York, it's like there's no Hollywood there, so people
Yeah.
are more just like, I'm just here to do
If
stand-up.
I'm here to do comedy, I'm here to do comedy.
This is what it
Yeah,
is.
that does
Not trying
bug
to-
me when I feel like people aren't there to like if you're doing this as a way to get to something else, and I'm like, well, then don't do this because
Yeah.
you're like, there's people who are only doing this.
Yep,
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, it's hard, wanting, I don't know, because it's like you don't want an oversaturation
Right.
in the marketplace where it's kind of like, well, then it doesn't feel as special.
Yeah.
And it's more personal because it's like your personal thing and journey.
Right.
And it's not like,
I also just don't get it. It's like I would never like spend 10 years working on playing the guitar just so I could drop the guitar to act. Like, like it's tough. It's really tough
Yeah.
to learn.
yeah, and you have to do so much work to even get to the point where people know
Right.
who you are and
Yeah.
all that. And then it's like, well, you've developed then that way as a comedian, and now you don't want that anymore.
Right. Yeah. But it's tough. And like, if you're a star, you're on a movie sets and like, flying around the world in private jets, you don't want to go to a comedy club
Yeah.
and hang out with, comics, but
Yeah.
Why not?
the real ones do.
It's like,
the real ones
man,
do.
that's so much fun.
The real ones do though, because I used to work at a comic club and you would see, Chris Rock would walk in, Martin Lawrence, all these guys who like were nobodies and started here, even though he's in a movie with Will Smith, he'll like pull up, do a set, and then leave.
Yeah.
Like, he still does
The people who still love the craft.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Like, even watching comedy specials all throughout, like, the pandemic and stuff, like, nothing compared to when we went to Wise Guys and you actually were opening for Josh and Annie. That was the first comedy show I had ever been to.
Oh, really?
And I was just like, oh, the energy.
Yeah, that was such a fun night.
Just nothing like it. Like, the laughs at home are nothing compared to, like,
Right.
feeling that laughter echoed by, like, everyone else in the room, or, like,
Yeah.
It's also
it's just a
it's
vibe.
easy for people when you're sitting at home and you're watching something because I think the whole point of comedy is to push some sort of boundary. And so if someone pushes your boundary and you're by yourself, you go, no. But if you're sitting there and everyone around you's laughing, you go, okay. And then that's how we get to like, that
because
feeling.
you don't like feel alone in laughing at something that maybe you feel like you shouldn't, or this or that, you know what I
Right.
mean, and everybody else is echoing it around you.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's like everybody is, I think that's another reason that I like comedy so much, is that so many people are so easily offended by every little thing now.
They
And
love to be
comedians are just like,
recreationally, yeah.
oh, does this offend you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to push it hard. I'm going to
Yeah.
joke about it. I'm going to do.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a whole thing on the internet because I did a joke about Eminem, and you would have. I mean, my God, woo! You want to upset a bunch of white guys? Talk shit about Eminem, and they just. I think I had some guy call me a racist. He said I was like a racist for making fun of Eminem. I don't know why.
What the
Ooh.
fuck?
Ooh, you hear that? It's
Right.
tone deaf.
Fuck
Right.
that.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my God.
I got to see your comedy special recently. You're 30.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
dirty
Thank you.
30.
Yeah.
On your birthday. Talk
Right.
about that. I mean,
Yeah.
how did you like prepare for that? Did you?
And for those who are listening, there will be a link to that in the description, both on YouTube and on the
Yeah,
wherever
how-
you're listening right now.
how
So.
can people find it? Just YouTube? Or?
YouTube Jordan Perry comedy special or Jordan Perry 30, and it'll
Check
come
it
up.
out.
Check it out.
Everybody, it's
Or
hilarious.
find me on Instagram at this Jordan Perry.
My cheeks hurt from laughing that whole night. Like, and then I was just like, that was so much fun. Like,
That's good. Yeah.
such a cool show.
It was cool. It was. I've been doing comedy for about 12 years at that point. It was my 30th birthday, my first headlining weekend, so I thought might as well put my material out there. Because some people have this old idea of comedy back in the 80s. It was literally like you're working at Macy's, you go do the Tonight Show, the next day you're back at Macy's, but people go, I saw you on the Tonight Show. Like you were
Yeah.
famous from the Tonight Show. That doesn't
Yeah.
exist anymore.
Yeah.
You know, you can do the Tonight Show like 5 times and people still don't know who you are.
Yeah, because like nobody watches
There's
TV
not-
anymore.
Yeah.
So comedians are now adjusting, and I think they're realizing just put your shit out there and let
Yeah.
everybody see it, and then they'll come see you live. So that is the point of this, and it was hard to prepare for because it's a headlining gig, but you prepare for specials by headlining. So this is my
Yeah.
first one. So when you see a special on Netflix, they did that hour like 50 times on
Yeah.
the road. This was my first time doing it.
Oh my
You know?
gosh.
So it was
So it was totally raw.
totally raw, but it was good. It
Wow.
was good. It was fun.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I think that's one of the great things about the internet, despite all the things that are fucked up about it, is that like anybody now, if you have something that you're good at or you have something that you're passionate about, you can find a community that can support that.
You will
And then
find a
if you
community.
just put it out there and you keep doing it, like, I mean, you know, it doesn't work out for everybody. Some people will just keep doing it until they're blue in the face and get nothing out of it, you know, but I don't really feel like those people are necessarily doing the things to like change in a way to be better and to get more
Or
growth.
they're like algorithm chasers where they're just trying to ride the wave of the
Yes.
algorithm. It's like you're like a robot. Like
Yeah.
an AI
Yeah.
could do this. Just do what you like.
Yeah, just do what you like to do and put it
Yeah.
out there. Because for something that you like to do, it's like even with people who, you know, oh, maybe I think I could do well at content creation, but oh, how I look or whatever. No matter what you look like, no matter what you're putting out there, there's somebody who's going to enjoy it.
course.
It's just a matter of if you enjoy it. And if
Right.
you enjoy doing it, then you'll just grow that way.
Don't ruin it for yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
No.
if you like it, like,
Yeah.
don't break it if it's not broke.
How hard was it to set up like the whole filming for it and
It
everything
wasn't that
and
hard. I
getting it
had a
edited?
couple buddies who just set up some cameras.
It looked awesome.
Yeah, it was
the
real.
quality was great.
It was real low budget. It was like a few $100s.
Nice.
But it was great.
Yeah, and I like that though because it is like I don't have Netflix giving me a whole budget.
Yeah.
They just did it with what I had.
And it was a full house. Like, that was
Right, it wasn't a
such
full
a
house.
cool night.
That was the thing too is that normally when someone films a special, it's like they pick a city where they can sell a full house or like a theater or something like that. So it was like the first night I think we had 15 to 20 people, so I couldn't use any of the footage. So I thought it was only 2 tries. I was like, okay, I'll get 2 tries of this. And the first night there were about 15 to 20 people there, which is like all spread out. So I was like, shit, all right, this is gonna be a rehearsal.
Decide every now and then you get like
Right.
Make it look okay.
And so that was like a rehearsal, but then the second night
Oh,
we actually did have like about 50 to 60 people there, so it was much better.
It was
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
We loved it.
That's
Great
great.
show. Fuck.
Oh, it's so
Wise
cool.
guys.
This guys is great.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to go to something there again. We just went to see Tom Segura, and that was so fun. Such
he's
an
great.
experience.
Back to it.
So good. Absolutely. Do you what is your plan as far as like moving to New York? Like, are you just gonna be like running circuits? Do you have any plans to do like
I'm
traveling
gonna
shows?
get a U-Haul and just drive there, and then when I get there, I'm gonna start doing like I do tour guide position like type stuff because that's a good way to make money, and it's also like you meet tourists, you like
Yeah,
chop it
learn
up, tell
a
them some
lot,
stories.
too.
Yeah. Like I learned a lot. I do ghost city tours here in Vegas.
Oh, cool.
I learned so much about this city.
Yeah.
It's I like say this jokingly, but I'm like serious. This city is a horcrux. Like Harry Potter, like
Yeah.
you do something
Are you
evil, you do something bad, and then you go to Horcrux. That's this whole city.
This whole city is a
Oh,
horcrux.
shit.
Las Vegas Academy. You know Las Vegas Academy?
No.
It's Fremont. It's downtown.
Yeah.
It's the steps. So when they were building the steps, the mob has to, like, they kill people,
Yeah.
and so they have to, like, get rid of bodies. And so while they were building the steps and the school's under construction, the mob would go up to, like, the nice security guard and be like, "Hey, you the security guard? Okay, well, I'm gonna need you to be gone tomorrow night from 11 to 11:45. Here's $100." And then you're gone. And then that next night, they throw a body in the steps, and the construction crew just, they bury it. The construction crew just paves right over it. They did that 14 times. There were 14 bodies in the steps of the Las Vegas Academy. So for decades, little kids just walk into school, "Hey, what?" And there's people underneath them, you know?
Oh my god.
And coincidentally, Las Vegas has the worst schools in the country.
Yeah. It does.
I believe that, and sometimes medical. I feel like too.
Really?
Some of the hospitals I hear, like, you
Yeah,
know,
I've heard
But how many
I
people
haven't
die in, like...
experienced it, but like I've heard like our medical like system is kind of whack.
Really?
Compared to like if you need to like do something serious,
Yeah.
I hear. From what I hear, so the
That's
schools are
wild.
whack.
It's
'cause they're haunted.
The body, yeah.
Yes,
There's so
bad
and
juju.
that's just the steps. There's bodies all over the campus. I think
Yeah.
they found some bodies somewhere on the campus, in addition to the 14 bodies.
And then the
around
lake.
Yeah,
The
the
lake.
lake when it was draining down, they keep finding more
Yeah.
bodies and stuff.
And it's like different
Imagine
than
the
like when
desert.
people die in a cemetery, because it's like if your soul is ripped. And I used to not believe this shit, but then when I started doing tours, I'm like, man, maybe something. Because when
Get a
your
little
soul,
superstitious.
well, your soul is taken like that in like a really harsh way where it's not resolved.
Yeah.
It leaves like tension and trauma and all that, and that's how you get ghosts.
Oh my god.
Well, Las Vegas is a horcrux. You heard it here first from Jordan Perry.
Look, I'm just saying, get your rosary beads, keep your cross by you, because these spirits are out here.
And smoke weed every day.
Binions,
all
Binions is
day, every
haunted.
day.
Do you know Binions?
Yes.
It's haunted. Like
What?
the that's one of the stops, like the hotel in between the casino and the pool up top. Ask the security guard.
Well, I got a buddy applying for a job there, so I better let him
Oh
know
really?
now.
Is he gonna go do security?
I have no idea, but
Well, if he's security,
Hey,
he's gonna have to
watch
go
out.
up there. Be careful.
you heard this.
Would you stay in a haunted hotel? Do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah, I would say I did stay in a haunted hotel in if you go north of Vegas, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's a town that I think Bill Gates bought or something like that. But there was an old haunted hotel. Let me think. What's it called? Oh, Bob! Shit, Bob's coming back to me.
Budget
All right.
Bob, you're back.
All right, haunted hotel.
Have you been to that? I know it's not even a ghost town, but like, is there anything going on with that Nelson's ghost town? It's not
Nelson?
an actual ghost town, right? Nelson.
I don't-
Is it like in the desert?
I mean, kind of. It's like maybe 40 minutes away.
Really?
It's not that far. But you've been to other ghost towns in Vegas?
I haven't. I just know the ones downtown because of the tour.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard about that, like, also like that.
Oh yeah, the Mizpah Hotel.
Is that what
Miss Spot, that's where you stayed?
Uh huh.
And it was haunted.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it.
I heard like they might just pay people to just like knock on the
No.
walls and stuff during the night, but
That shit's real.
yeah,
It's real.
it was one of those weird things. Like I had one point where I walked down the hallway and there was like a fabric swish, so I thought that there was like a person. I go to the staircase, there's nobody there, and I was like, that's weird. But it's just like, but it's not something you're like,
thank
oh,
you.
it's not real, it's not real. You just tell yourself it's not real, but it's fun and it's creepy. Like I
And-
don't know, I the haunted stuff.
Has that ever happened to any of you guys? Call us and let us
got
know.
some haunted ghost
We want to hear
stories.
your haunted stories.
Yes.
Please.
Oof. But like Binions, like the security guards, if you're ever in Binions, anybody listening, go to the security desk and ask the guards. And you got to be careful because like I do the tour every day, so I pass
Yeah.
by the security desk so they know me. And like asking them, it's like asking something about something very. It's like asking like a war vet. Did you ever kill anybody? Because they're like, I don't want to talk about this, man. Like I went up
my
there, some scared the shit out of me. You know.
Listen up, Ryan. We're talking to you. Don't
Yeah,
apply
man.
there.
Oh my god.
It's and think about it this way: if you don't think the hotel is haunted, think about how much money people would pay to stay in a haunted hotel. And this is Vegas, and they go, "Nope, we're not doing that. The hotel is closed."
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. Staying in a haunted hotel, all that kind of haunted stuff is fun. It's always been fascinating.
but you
to
did.
me.
You stayed in one.
Yeah.
And how much did it cost? Was it expensive?
No, it was cheap. No one else to stay there. It was mostly empty. There
You
was
want one
like
room too?
there was like 4 people in like the restaurant. Like
Yeah.
and yeah. Maybe they were ghosts. I don't even know.
Would you do it? I'm like, no.
I would do it.
Yeah?
I mean, just for one night.
One night.
And if it gets crazy, I'm out.
See,
You
I'm
can't
like,
just trap me.
Oh, there was a place in Michigan.
I mean,
Cannot leave.
I think you can ask the ghost nicely not to trap you, but they do whatever they want.
You ain't leaving here.
Right.
When I was like, freshly moved out of the house or whatever, I was like, I want to go up to, there's a place up near Traverse City in Michigan, and there was a haunted asylum. So they had turned some of them into like shops and stuff that you could go into, but the rest of it's abandoned. You can just like walk through and maybe go to places you're not supposed to.
Let's do it.
But yeah, it was like, I don't know, it was super creepy, like, but I absolutely loved it. It was raining the day that we went, and
boy.
it was it was just like, even if nothing happened, you just like can convince yourself that you see things, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know,
Oh, yeah. Totally.
I like it.
Get ready for October, everyone. It's getting real spooky. around here.
Before
is.
you get to New York, you have to look where the haunted places are so you can avoid them.
Right. Well, I think it's a ghost tour that I might be doing again, so I'll probably know all the
shit.
haunted places. Yeah.
Well, at least you'll know the places to avoid.
To avoid, yeah.
We'll be looking forward to finding out more.
Right.
You'll have to report back to us on
I
where all the
will.
ghosts.
Let you know. Ton of bodies there. Stay
We
away.
should go to
Yeah.
New York, and he can take us on the ghost tour once he has it figured
Yes.
out.
And don't be a
Perfect.
stranger. Come and visit us.
Absolutely. I'm coming back. I'll be back. I think I'm actually going to be here November 5th at Suncoast Casino.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
It's a casino gig,
We'll
yeah.
come. We'll be there.
You can come.
We will come.
I'll be in Australia. Oh no, I'll still be in Bali.
Australia.
Oh wait,
Then I'll be in
I'll be
Australia.
in Bali still.
No, you'll be back. by
I'll
then.
be back. I'll be
She'll be
here.
back.
Yeah.
She'll be back.
And I'll be Beethoven.
Oh.
And on
My
that
girl.
note, thank you so much, Jordan, for joining us.
Thank you for having
today.
me. I had a
Thank
great
you
time.
very much.
And
yes.
make sure that you guys check out his special. There, like I said, the link will be in all the descriptions. So, and they
Yes,
can
it's
follow
so
you
funny.
on Instagram at
Yes.
it's
at
Jordan
this
Perry.
Jordan
It's
Perry. THIS Jordan Perry.
Go
Perfect.
follow him.
Yes,
Go buy
please.
his merch.
Buy the
Go
merch.
listen.
The merch
to
is adorable.
Yeah, the
Yes.
merch is adorable. I love this
Yes.
shirt. Oh, yeah. I have like one funny story about this shirt.
Oh, okay.
Two actually.
Tell.
And I had to tell you, it's like this shirt being so much good luck. I don't know what it was. One day, the first day I wear it, I'm like at the dispensary, right? Jardine. We love Jardine.
Oh, we love Jardine.
And I get this like really sweet bud tender. She's like super helpful, like above and beyond. Like I get all these bomb deals, and I'm like, man, my service today has been so great. She's like, by the way, I love your shirt, and I'm like, it was the shirt. Like the shirt brings such good energy and like good vibes. So
Hell
thank you
yeah.
for that. And like, I think after that I ended up walking into a Liquor Lee's or Lee Liquor or whatever it is, and I'm like, oh, what do I want to get today? And I got this like fancy bottle of Grey Goose, and it's like pear flavored, and like the guy's like busy ringing me up, right? He doesn't charge me for my bottle.
What?
And I'm like, what is going on? And he asked me, what does your shirt say? He was so busy figuring
Reading
out
the
what my
shirt.
shirt was saying that it either sidetracked him and I got blessed. I don't know what it was, but thank you, Liquor Lee's, and thank you, Jardine. This shirt is the tits.
You guys heard it
I
right
love
here.
this shirt.
This shirt is the tits.
Yeah.
shirt
Go
is the
buy
tits.
the
Go
merch
buy it.
and get good luck.
Baby. Buy the shirt, baby.
12
Baby.
12 inch
12
long.
long.
12 inch long. Buy the shirt, baby.
12
Thank
long.
you, Jordan.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for listening. Share with a friend. Remember to like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. And go to liquidfv.com. Use code TWND at checkout to save 15% and get free shipping. And always remember,